Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HKBU and Boundary Fights Transcultural Births in Asia International Conference. A big welcome to you all. My name is Callan. I'm the Assistant Dean in Research at the School of Creative Arts here at HKBU. 12 hours ago, I was still in Kyoto, the ancient and original capital of Japan. The purpose of the travel is to connect, a closer connection to Kyoto Seika University, one of the many arts universities in the nation. On Monday afternoon, I was walking towards the end of the campus near Mountain Iwakura. I was shown a domesticated crane, the bird. Not only of elongation and elegance in my own opinion, the mystical creature also symbolized longevity, loyalty, honor, and good fortune in Japanese arts and culture that also applies in traditional Chinese folklore. Kyoto Seika University keeps one crane on campus for teaching purpose and to allow students observing and draw and paint crane in real life. The poor crane might not be able to fly anymore, and I waved goodbye before I left the city. Unlike the crane that I met earlier, the papers that will be presented in the next 2 days are energetic, rich and diverse geographically that cover Javanese and Islamic, Southeast Asian, Austronesian, Japanese, Chinese, Beninese arts and literature, and the reception of Asian representation of births in Renaissance art. And these travels from the ancient to the early modern and modern periods. As birds are least domesticated creature comparing to other species, and they fly and travel, only transcultural study would make sense to examine the subject matter and the relationships to human, and only sky is the limit. Transcultural art history is one of the key initiatives here at the Academy of Visual Arts. We have been developing courses and research projects under the transcultural framework in the past decades. It is imperative for our students and researchers to look beyond the East-West canon and embrace globalism prior to the 20th century globalization. The conference and its topics assist the thinking amicably. Birds fly and travel, so does human. We are very honored to have each and every one of you here at HKBU traveling from the States, Europe, and Indonesia, as well as shouting at CHK and just across the road at the City University of Hong Kong. Both in-person and online participation are equally important in our academic pursuit in the post-COVID era. We hope you will be able to enjoy the 2-day program at the Academy of Visual Arts at HKBU. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. That was a great introduction to the work we're trying to do here in the Academy of Visual Arts. And we're hosting this actually after a long gestation. Right? So together with Jiri, we thought of this idea a long time ago. So maybe Jiri can say a few words. How?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We started in Heidelberg on one afternoon moment in one of our former meetings, actually, with our SFB group that we joined at that time, me and Radu. We started to talk about an idea for the future conference, and I scribbled a kind of three ideas on a piece of paper. I still remember that first word was food, history. The second topic was birds and something around birds. And the third I really forgot. And Radu selected birds. So basically that started from that moment. And then COVID cut all the plans because we forgot to move ahead. And when COVID was ended, finally, we resurrected the plan for this event. And basically, Radu is a brave person, and I still remember that he came up with the idea to get people to the conference to Hong Kong, the place where he was already based at that time, by approaching some plane company to ask them for tickets, for free tickets. And Radu was even so brave to ask the head director of Lufthansa company, which was something actually, sending him email in person. And to my surprise, there was a reply in 2 or 3 weeks. Negative reply from the secretary of this gentleman. And yeah, that was another phase of our preparations for this conference. But as you can see, we ended up here, and the conference is happening today and tomorrow. So we are happy to made it happen, actually.
So one more thing to mention: when we were planning this in Heidelberg, there were tens of and hundreds of parrots flying around Heidelberg. It's probably the northernmost point in Europe where they acclimatized, and they're because of the warming phenomenon in Europe. You would have parrots, and as you know, their cries are very loud, right? That's, you cannot miss them especially in the evenings. So that was a kind of constant reminder that these birds, these exotic birds, have been very present and very active throughout history, and it was kind of a further motivation to keep doing this project. And from my side, as I'm an art historian, I gathered mostly, as you see, art historians and cultural historians, while Jiri, as you are active in the Institute of Anthropology and in linguistics, right? We managed to bring together to bring a variety of disciplines and approaches, and I hope we will be able to show that these 2 days. And as Kalen mentioned at the beginning, right, the transcultural approach makes a lot of sense, because these are not just live creatures; they're also cultural creatures. Right? There are stories associated with them, myths, images. There's a whole cultural package that comes with these birds, although most of their origin is in Southeast Asia. So we're analyzing how these kind of, let's say, exotic birds circulated, right? It's not only the physical movement of birds, but also their cultural, right, through words, images. So just a few practical things. We have a hybrid conference, right? So some of us are here in person, while there are quite a few people online attending and presenting online. So it's a really hybrid format. So we'll alternate between in-person presentations, online. We'll also have quite long lunch break in the middle and coffee breaks, and during that time we will suspend the broadcast. And we already have one, if you're looking at the schedule, Stacy Jung, who is supposed to speak this afternoon, cannot do it anymore. So that slot, we hope for the final published volume, we hope to have that paper published, but it's not going to be in the program anymore. So you want to add anything, Jiri?
Well, just thinking about the power of the birds, today we are in the most recent phase of human-birds relationship. Basically, it started thousands of years ago. Birds were not just food, as Radu said. They were important, and Kevin said in his introduction, birds were really important in symbolism, and they were also very important in building kind of worldview of humans. When they settled places like Austronesians, we will probably see it in one of our contributions here. And today we are in the last phase of these human-birds relationships. We can mention just bird therapy as a new discipline, how to heal various psychotic diseases. And we also have this chimeras, bird hybrids being created in real economy. So there is no end of this human-bird relationships process. We still see new forms of, kind of interaction between humans and birds. So what we hope to do is just to stress that birds are omnipresent and that they are very, very important, not just on material levels, but also on symbolic and religious and other levels you can imagine. And we hope to demonstrate this richness in this conference.